Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, Streets Maintenance, the Oxio Kid and the Amanas with the great Sunday brunch, Premier Automotive in North Liberty, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City, the Midtown Family Restaurants, Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE, GT Carr, his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling, Mike's E-Keys for Cars, Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement, and Patrick Eads and the staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Here's Tom Suter, along with Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
That's right. Here we are.
Here we are.
Sunny day. The sun did come up today, even though some fans are feeling it didn't come up today.
Well, it did.
It did. Here it is.
It's a beautiful day. Life goes on.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a great game for Iowa. It was for Indiana. They beat us. They beat us fair and square, and they beat us in every aspect of the game.
So it wasn't the officiating?
It was not the officiating.
No, that was so stupid. People are bitching about the officiating when you got that much of a deficit.
Yeah, I didn't. There is a lot of that on Twitter, though. People are saying, oh, they let Indiana do whatever they wanted.
Well, we let Indiana do whatever they wanted. They were Sarah Scalia just killed us from the outside, and then that Garzone or whatever her name was hot from the outside.
Didn't Mackenzie Holmes have like 8 blocks?
Yeah. Oh, she was really good.
That's who they're focusing the rage on, her saying she was dirty. And like I said, I didn't see it. Susan Harmon was actually there in Bloomington for Hawk Fanatic. She covered the game. She drove over there, and
I thought Mackenzie Holmes was great last night, and we didn't have anybody who could match up with her.
So she wasn't. Did she play dirty in your minds?
No.
Because, like I said, I saw several posts.
I didn't see anything like that.
No, I thought they were more intense than we were the whole game. When
they asked Caitlin, somebody from Indiana tweeted an answer from Caitlin about what was the T. She said their physicality. They just knocked me off my spots, pushed me further back than I wanted to be. And sometimes even great shooters are going to have off nights. She missed 13 of 16 threes. That was the game. Right there, she makes 9 of those. I mean,
then we probably win the game.
Sometimes you just have off nights like that, and obviously, I think she took a lot of threes because I don't think she may not have had much faith in her teammates.
Well, she shouldn't have.
Because I mean, I don't want to single people out, but they're big girls now. I mean, Gabby Marshall with 3.
Well, what did we shoot? 19% from 3.
I think so.
That's not going to win you any basketball games.
Yeah, and Hannah had 10, which you need more from her.
Yep.
And
also, when your top rebounder is your point guard, that's not necessarily a good stat either.
But didn't O'Grady have a good little spurt there? Didn't she have like 6 points in like a...
She had 6 points in limited duty in 9 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish they'd play her some and put Stokey at power forward, give him a little size to combat what Indiana had, but what do I know? Hell, Bluter knows. She's forgotten more about basketball than I know, but it was just one of those games, 2 pretty evenly matched games. And like I said, my concerns are the lack of Cesano. I've always worried that it was going to come back and haunt this team at some point this year.
And in our losses, it has.
And McKenna Warnock, too. I mean, McKenna Warnock averaged, didn't she average 12 to 13 a game points?
The last
She was almost always a double-figure scorer.
She was.
But Gabby's not that.
No.
At all. Hannah has mostly become that, but she still has some dips. And Kate even has some games where she doesn't score much.
Kate's been great the last 4 or 5 games as far as consistently, but she was 0 for 6 from 3 last night.
Yeah, Caitlin cannot do this by herself.
No, she can't.
And so
she knows it.
We'll see. The regular season title is probably gone.
Probably.
But you never know.
Probably. Ohio State's got a tough schedule. They host Maryland, and then they host the only team that's beaten them in the Big Ten, Michigan, and then they travel to Iowa.
Yeah, I think they'll win both.
I do too.
Yeah, Maryland's not.
Maryland is not Maryland.
They are, and I don't know how they lost to Michigan. And actually, I think I remember watching a little bit of that game. I remember Michigan ate some crazy shots that day, and that's sometimes what it takes. But you could just look at that. Iowa had 69 points. Think about that.
Yeah.
Caitlin had only 20 fewer in her last game.
Iowa was 23 points below their normal
And
scoring
Indiana
average.
deserves credit because
Sure they do.
I mean, Caitlin used the word physicality 2 or 3 times in her answer. Just said they pushed me off my.
You got Caitlin's explanation on there. If you wanted to use it.
Yeah, it was. I heard it on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, here, let me find it here. Is it the one that says Clark?
Yeah. Where are you getting it?
Sounds like she's in a well.
Well, I don't know where you're getting it.
Getting it from our laptop. And I don't know why.
Doesn't it sound like she's at the bottom of a well?
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
Hello. Well, Caitlin missed quite a few layups, too, that I noticed.
Yeah, we all did. The team did not play very well.
Yeah, they said after that last celebration, the whole week should really have us ready. Well, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have had a whole week.
I mean, 16 of her 24 field goal attempts were 3-point shots.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Did she have 20 points in the first half and
Yes.
then ended up with only 4 in the second?
Correct.
I mean, she had 13 in the first quarter, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they seemed to know what to do.
Yeah, they figured things out, and she just had a night where she missed shots that normally she makes.
Well, at the beginning of the year, they predicted that Ohio State would win the Big Ten title.
They were probably right.
Yeah. So you think the only game that Ohio State now is probably going to have a chance of losing would be to us?
Well, they've got a chance to lose all 3.
Sure, they do.
But I think they're playing at home against 2 inferior opponents.
Yeah, that's right. And can you lose those games? Yes, but Ohio State's playing very high-level basketball.
I see them winning those 2 and losing at Iowa. That's if I had
think
to predict.
that's-
And that would still win them the Big Ten title.
That's right.
Do you think we can get in there and win the conference championship in the?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. But that's not what
Yeah.
this team's going to be judged on. I
No.
mean, this team could lose its first game in the Big Ten tournament, but if it went to the Elite Eight or Final Four again, nobody would care about that.
Correct.
The NCAA
Yeah.
tournament is what this team will ultimately be judged on, fair or not.
What do you think our guys will do tomorrow?
Lose. Hope I'm wrong.
At Illinois,
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, that's the easy prediction.
Yeah.
Now, didn't Illinois have a good lead on Penn State and then end up losing?
Yeah, I
that?
watched that game.
Yeah.
Penn State played,
Was
and
that at home? No, that was at Penn State.
it was at Rec Hall. They should play all their games
Yeah.
there. Holds about 6,000.
6,000?
It was packed. I mean, it was packed. I mean, it was lively in there, and I think that had a lot to do with them coming back and winning that game.
I heard several people who said they went to Indiana said that Indiana Fieldhouse is so big and
It
so
is.
tall.
Assembly Hall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 18,000 and some, isn't
It's
it?
it's vertical. It's one of the more vertical arenas. I walked in and thought it was a giant opera house, to be honest with you. The way the seats, they just go they stay closer to the court. They don't, like Carver's,
Yeah.
Indiana's, they go straight up almost. It's wild.
Yeah, and then they were talking about that there weren't very many Iowa people at that game.
No, it didn't look like it.
Oh, I'm sure there probably weren't.
Just a few little black and gold, and that was it.
There wasn't much.
But there were Indiana fans on social media trying, we do this for every game. The lines? No, they don't. They've sold, that was the second game they've sold out.
I
No.
know that was.
And they were like, we're not there to see. We're there to see our girls. Just be honest. You were there to see Clark and hope your team wins.
And they
yes,
did.
that's fine.
No, they've averaged 9,000.
Yes. Oh, we do this every game. This is okay.
No, they
up.
don't.
No, they don't.
I've seen some of their games on
Yeah,
TV.
no,
and
they don't. And drawing 9,000 is good.
It is.
That's good.
I thought Iowa looked tired last night, Karen. Didn't you think that, too?
Yeah, I did. I thought they looked tired. I thought they were breathing heavy at times. And
Well, they got to get some things. I mean, Gabby Marshall's got to score some points for them if they're going to play
Yeah,
at
they're
their
gonna
top
have
level.
to.
I mean, she's
Yeah.
a key part of their team, and she plays great defense. I've never seen anyone clog passing lanes the way she does.
Yeah, she's good.
But man,
and
offensively,
Spelke, she tries in there, but she's short, and some of those tall girls just kind of whack her down good.
because she's not a center, she's playing out of position.
No.
And we've found ways to beat teams with good centers this year. I mean, we beat
Yeah.
Mackenzie Holmes, Indiana, by what, 24? We beat Elizabeth
Well, I think
Kitley.
we beat them by 27 when they were
27.
here.
We beat Virginia Tech and Elizabeth Kitley and Aoka Lee, K-State. But we've also lost, when we've lost the battle inside, we've lost all the games that we've lost. Alexis Markowski of Nebraska is good inside. Last night, Mackenzie Holmes.
On the other denominator is Caitlin didn't shoot well in the losses.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, and I
To me, it
think
starts
after Indiana lost to Illinois, they were going to make sure they were not going to lose to Iowa.
And did Caitlin not score in the fourth quarter against Nebraska?
Oh, correct.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So she's got that, and then it's interesting. I mean, I'm sure she's out to.
She's out to redeem.
What's
something.
their next? Do they have another road game?
At Minnesota.
Okay, I could see her lighting them up.
Yeah, they have Minnesota.
No, the next one is Illinois
They
here
have Illinois
Sunday.
here on Sunday.
Why don't you want to talk?
No,
to
that's it.
What? Hey. Okay, so they have one
they
road.
have Illinois here on Sunday, and
Yes.
then they have
At
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Ohio State.
Okay,
here.
guys. Well, let's hope for the best.
Thanks. I'm with you.
Bye.
So, yeah. So, I would say at this point Iowa's got a good basketball team, but they certainly were not great last night. So,
Fair,
No,
Yeah.
and one person does not make a team.
but
No.
she makes a big.
She makes a huge difference.
But without her, I don't know if this is an NCAA team without her.
No, I
It's probably
agree,
not.
but I mean, everybody, the spotlight's always on her, and
As-
when they fail, it's her. I mean,
Well, I've been calling out
That's
some
a
other
lot of-
girls. I mean, Gabby Marshall to me needs to score
no,
more.
Gabby has been I think it's fair to say she has underperformed this year.
Offensively, not
Yes.
defensively. Defensively, she's been great. That's why she plays so much.
Yep.
She does so many subtle things that you don't really appreciate unless you're watching really closely. And and she's great at help defense. But man, she's got to score.
And Molly wasn't much help last night offensively either.
They were physical. Susan said they were really physical. Whether use their size against her and what have you. But if Caitlin wasn't on this team, would they be in NCAA? I don't think they would be. And I'm not knocking the supporting cast, but I just don't think they would be.
You might be onto something.
And that's a lot of pressure for one player to have to.
Of course, I mean,
carry.
it depends. Other people would have to step up, which they haven't been doing, but they haven't necessarily needed to because they have Caitlin.
Yeah, but you think it'd be easier to step up when you have Caitlin because so much. Imagine
Because the
defenses
pressure's
without
not
Caitlin.
on. Yes.
Yeah. So
I agree.
But it's it'll be interesting to see how, because like I said, I still think this is her last stretch of games as a Hawkeye. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I saw somebody. Who's the lady that writes for USA Today? She's been around. Nancy. She's been around forever.
I don't know.
I can't. Well, you'd know her if I said her name, but it's escaping me. She wrote a column saying she thinks she's leaving, but that she should stay. And her main reason why she said she should stay is so she can continue to help the women's game evolve. I agree. That's fine. But why is it Caitlin's responsibility to just help the women's game evolve?
Nancy Armour.
Nancy Armour. Is
Okay.
that okay? I think that's. No, it's the other one, an Irish name.
Nancy O. Armour?
No.
Nancy O'Reilly.
But I see what she's saying, but do you really think it's Caitlin's responsibility? Some other people need to take the mantle.
Well,
I mean, I selfishly want her to stay because it's great for business. And it's fun seeing Hawkeye fans so happy. I don't think most of the people I talk to are convinced she's leaving.
I'm pretty convinced.
And she hasn't said, and this article also said she's torn about her decision. I don't know where they got that from. I mean, maybe she is, but we'll see. But, I mean, other people got to help this game, too. She can't just do this by herself.
No, and Paige Becker's coming back will help a little bit, but she doesn't have the brand that Caitlin does.
Well, not
Everybody
Christine.
does.
No.
Brennan?
That's who it is, yes.
Christine Brennan.
That's who it is. Yes, but that's largely due to having two knee injuries.
Well,
Her
absolutely.
career's just been...
Because coming in, she had a bigger name.
Yeah, but
as
the
freshman.
moment I saw them both play, I thought Caitlin was better. Just more dynamic.
I like watching Caitlin throw it behind her back, but was last night first time she threw it behind her head?
I've seen that before, but the funny thing is neither of them worked last night.
Was it her fault or was it the receiver's fault?
The behind-the-back pass went right to the Indiana gal, and the over-the-head pass, they ran out of time.
Oh, okay.
You're asking a lot for a receiver to be ready to catch that. But man, it's worked a couple times. It's really cool. But
Yeah.
man, that was a fast-paced game. I mean, it was just
Sounds like Indiana was just ready to.
Indiana was ready from the jump.
They were, and sometimes you just have to take your hat off to the opponent.
And we never matched that last night.
And physically, they look like the perfect basketball team. Indiana did. I was impressed.
Well, last night, but we beat them by 27 here.
Have you seen South Carolina? If you want to talk about physically.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa's not a very big team, and
they're not a very athletic team.
No,
either.
they're not. And against a taller, more athletic team, we're going to struggle sometimes.
And as great as Caitlin is, she's more skilled than she is athletic. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I'm not. She's not a great leaper. She's not up and down quicker, but she's so highly skilled and can shoot and 6 feet tall. But she's not like just super quick laterally and all that stuff.
No, and her court vision is
incredible,
otherworldly.
Yes, but there's quicker guards.
For sure. And faster guards.
Faster guards and what have you, guards that can jump higher. But like I said, this is one loss. They'll figure it out. And this team is not – I mean, it'd be nice to win the Big Ten regular season but in the long run, they could win the Big Ten tournament, but if they lose in the second round of the NCAA tournament, that's all anyone's going to talk about. Nobody will remember anything that happened in the regular season. That's all like that happened 2 years ago when Creighton came in here.
Oh, I remember that well.
Fair or not, that's just what happens when you become so successful with such a elite player that the standard becomes so high that there's hardly any margin for error.
Yeah.
No, your nephew's in the chat room.
Remember when he joined it? It took like 2 minutes for someone to call him a freaking moron. Remember that? 2 minutes into it, some guy's lashing out at him. What's he saying in there?
I haven't.
I mean, the last time he was in there, didn't he bring up my high school girlfriend?
They're talking about uniforms.
Oh, the Indiana's throwback uniforms?
Yeah.
Were they neat looking?
No.
Yeah.
No, they looked like pajamas.
Okay.
And then he says, I can't say that on chat. Scared Captain will kick me out.
He might.
Why am I kicking him out? I don't even know what he was saying.
I've never been in the chat room.
Captain's got a quick trigger.
Would you be offended if I kicked out your nephew?
Not really, no. You'll have to just make that decision on your own. I know God forget there's no nepotism around here. We know that.
No nepotism. No.
How warm is it supposed to get today?
47, and then 45 tomorrow, and then 60.
There's 74.
Listen, upper 60s Monday, 70 on Tuesday, and then back into, and then we got snow. No big deal.
But you'll have your air on Monday, won't you? If it's 70?
I had my hair on last night.
I saw the.
It was muggy in there.
I saw the forecast and I saw the 74, and then I saw the next day it was going down to 39, and I started bitching about it. I'm sitting there, I'm bitching about 40-degree weather in February.
Yeah.
40's fine.
It is all relative.
I had it on for 20 minutes just
to get the stuffiness out?
Yeah, get the stuffiness out, and that was
it. This is, what's today, the 23rd?
Yes.
Yeah.
God, 5 more days. February is almost gone.
Yeah.
This has been incredible. I saw a couple photos that I took on January 9th. Man, what a difference.
Yeah.
January 9th was really when all that 2 weeks of hell started. That was like the first day of that, first or second day. I think it started on like the 7th. But
we were punished for 2 weeks, and we've been rewarded with
coddled.
And all those people that came out the first day of that giant snowfall. Well, I thought this was supposed to be a mild winter.
This will go down as one of the most mild winters we've ever had.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you say there's snow, but isn't the days it's going to be in the 30s?
Well, yeah. Chance of rain or snow Tuesday night, mid-30s. Chance of snow Wednesday, but it's gone because it'll be around 40.
Oh, so it's going to stay in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
You don't see any 20s or teens.
No.
The other night the low it was 37. The low
mid-teens on Tuesday, mid-20s rather on Tuesday night. Otherwise, 30s.
And then watch March will just be a frozen tundra. You guys will be out here for like 10 days straight. You laying in Hunter.
Not me. I've retired.
Hey,
from
you drive in the Sycamore parking?
Yeah.
Have you seen that pothole?
Yeah.
Yes, my God.
I mean, we need to do a remote there. That's the biggest pothole I've ever
It's
seen.
bigger than the one in
Oh,
the
it's not even close. It's like bigger than Gray's Lake in Des Moines. Seriously.
I mean, that could ruin.
Oh, I mean,
No, it's ridiculous.
I drove around it the other day and just stopped and just kind of looked at it in awe. I mean, how big it's been allowed to stay there and fester. It's massive.
It is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's not. It's
Why don't
dangerous for the cars.
Oh, I mean,
Can't
if you
they put something,
I would put a little one of those, you know, the things with the orange reflector lights.
orange coat.
Because at night, if you're driving through there at night, I drive through that road a lot because it's, it cuts off your distance. But man, if you put your car in that thing,
Yeah.
that's damage.
Yeah.
It's at least almost a foot deep. And what would you say, 6 by 6 feet across almost?
Not 6 feet, is it?
I don't know
I
that
bet it's probably
6.
4 to 5 feet across. I'm not
I
saying.
bet it would. Okay, 4 feet.
I think at least 4
Wow.
feet.
Yeah.
And
I
but
haven't
it's
seen it for a while, so it must have maybe
I
even
saw it
bigger.
yesterday.
No, it is. It is big,
and it's
but
right on the road.
Yeah. No, I don't know why the city doesn't do something.
Well, because it's private property.
Well, they can't do anything about it.
They can't pressure the
It's
people that own it.
private property. No,
But can't they pressure the people that own it to say, "Hey, this is a safety hazard"?
I don't know.
Can't they?
And if you drive on that and it damages your car,
eminent domain. I mean, it's.
but let's say you drive it that at night, can you sue the people that own the if it does damage to your car? I mean, I'm just asking.
I would sure think
I
so.
mean, if you got to fix your sidewalks and crap,
I remember.
then I would think you'd have to.
But that's city property.
Well, yeah, but
Right?
it's on your. It's right.
Yeah,
there.
you have to fix it yourself.
And that is sort of a road. It's on the road. It's not
Yeah.
in the parking lot. It's on the
Yeah,
road.
It's on the road.
It's on the road that goes through the parking lot. It's right there in the right lane. I mean, when I first saw it, I was just like I said, I laughed. It was so big. And I remember thinking, man, these potholes out here are nothing compared to that thing.
Well, then you stand there and look at it and expect Satan to come out of the damn thing. It's deep.
It is deep.
Yeah.
No, there's. I mean, I don't think you could. If you were driving on that thing over 10 miles per hour, you're going to damage you're going to do something to your car.
I
if you
would
hit
think
that.
so.
Yeah, you got to completely. I'm just surprised it's been allowed to stay there this long. I mean, because it's been at least a month.
Well, it's been building for months.
I think it happened and I think it got worse during that 2 weeks of hell.
Uh-huh.
I think that made it worse. But yeah, just be careful if you're driving over there in Sycamore, because I mean, you could easily miss that because it can kind of sneak up on you too if you're not paying attention
No,
to it.
you got to really watch out. It will damage your car.
And there are a couple other potholes in that area,
And
but
if it
nothing
does,
like that one.
Because your tire's going to go into that thing, and it's going to bump your your body's going to get dented in.
Yeah, no, it's one.
No,
of the,
it's as deep as it is. It could seriously ruin.
Aren't you surprised though? It's been allowed to stay this long.
Fester?
It's festering over there.
And it's getting bigger.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like a festering wound. What do you think of that?
He was on Gunsmoke.
Festering wound.
Yeah.
Gunsmoke. I actually caught about 15 minutes of that yesterday. I caught myself. What the hell am I doing? And that's somebody who watches Andy Griffith, but I don't need to get back into Gunsmoke. The thing that's amazing about Gunsmoke, though, is all the actors you see back then, you didn't know them when they were young. You knew them when they were old.
Yeah.
And you see them doing like some of their first early gigs as guests on Gunsmoke. You know,
That's true.
Listen, those westerns, very seriously, and I don't know what this means about the country, but MeTV, MeTV Plus, all those inspiration television, all the cable channels that are showing those westerns are getting tremendous ratings. I mean, inspiration shows nothing
incredible.
but these damn. It's number 5 cable channel. I mean, it beats everything, and it comes close to beating Fox at time periods.
What,
and
MeTV?
No, but inspiration. That shows all these
Old cowboy movies?
old cowboy movies.
not
They're
an
a
old Western.
church.
I don't get it.
They're a church, so they don't pay any taxes on this stuff.
not a Western fan. I never really have been.
Well, they're
Other than
kicking.
Shane.
When I
Shane
was
and
a
Pale
kid,
Rider.
I did.
I never did as a
kicking
kid
ass.
either.
I
Shane
liked Roy Rogers.
Shane and Pale Rider. Those are the only
Roy
two.
Rogers was bad.
Why was Roy Rogers bad?
This
Just
is
stupid.
bad.
Ridiculous.
Well, I liked it.
Was that with Trigger and Dale Evans?
Yes.
Yes.
Nonsense.
And Pat Brady and Nellie Bell.
And Happy Trails.
Yes.
Did somebody drive a Jeep?
Yeah, Pat Brady.
Nonsense.
That Tom Brady's uncle?
I loved that show. I did. As a kid, I watched that show. Why did this show suck?
I agree. It should just
It's
suck.
he's a cowboy.
Stupid.
And he's a cowboy in the Old West, but yet they're driving a Jeep.
Okay, why not? I mean,
you figure that?
yeah, why would
I
you
always wondered about
why
that.
would you keep riding a
Fair
horse
enough.
if you had access to a Jeep?
I don't know.
So that's
how,
why-
as I was a kid, I think I said that to my dad. I said, okay, so they're in the Old West, they're riding horses, and this guy's driving a Jeep.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
There you go.
I did not understand it.
Now, bet they could outrace those horses.
Was the Lone Ranger 50s or 60s?
50s and
Both, wasn't it?
yeah.
Okay,
probably
I
60s.
remember it a little bit. I just never got into it.
I watched it, but it wasn't very good either.
You guys are just.
I just never liked westerns.
I love putting that little eye mask on and nobody could recognize
I
you.
didn't recognize him.
Unforgiven. That's another one. With Clint Eastwood. That was a good one. You've seen that, haven't you? Unforgiven.
Yeah.
That was another good one.
No, I don't watch them now, but I liked them as a kid. I did really like them.
But I mean, Gunsmoke is on. Is it TV Land or Me? It's on for like 10 straight
It's
hours.
on TV Land. It's on Me.
It's on more than Andy Griffith.
Inspiration. It's on everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's on more than Andy Griffith, and Andy Griffith's on a lot of channels too.
Well, Andy Griffith only went 5 years really with the Knots.
Well, yeah, it had the 5 from 60 to 65.
And then, Gunsmoke went 20 years.
Yeah, and it started in the 50s.
Yeah.
And
They wanted John Wayne to play Matt Dillon, and he turned it down.
He would have been perfect for that.
all
part.
right, Festus, bring me that water.
Wasn't he kind of too big for that? I mean, he didn't.
He recommended James Arness.
Was perfect.
And James Arness was known as the Thing.
Yeah.
Remember the movie The Thing? He was the Thing.
What about Miss Kitty?
Huh?
Miss Kitty.
She's a whore.
Whore.
Was that Amanda Blake?
Yeah.
She was a whore.
Yeah, she was a whore.
Yeah.
And James Arness kind of protected her.
Yeah.
He was coddling whores.
You like the whore.
Yes. All right, you were going to ask me something.
I was. Ann saw White Boy Rick in one of the TV listings
And jumped right on it.
Circled it for me. I'm going to record it.
Is this
I
the
see it
movie or
come
the
on again.
documentary?
Matthew McConaughey.
Okay, I'm guessing you will say,
That's the movie?
Yeah, that's the movie with Matthew McConaughey. I got a kick out of his character, but my guess is your reaction will be, it's okay. I mean, I don't think you'll say you liked it, and you might say it sucked. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
Although I tend to like Matthew McConaughey pretty well.
He's in this movie a lot. I just get a kick out of the character he plays because this kid's dad was messed up. So when are you going to watch that?
I don't know. I'll have to tape it.
Where'd you find it? On what channel?
I'm not sure.
Because it's not on any of mine right now. I mean, it was on everything for a while. Right now, it's The Karate Kid, the remake with Jackie Chan, and then the one with Mr. Miyagi. It's on all the time. One of them, and then lots of times they do back to back. And it must be Karate Kid month. Danya-san. It's my Mr. Miyagi impersonation.
You could be Rich Little.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi would be my first impersonation. Did you like that movie when it came? You realize Karate Kid came out 40 years ago?
Yeah, I watched it.
That's when I watched it.
Shane and I watched
How old's Shane?
Now he's 44, going to be 45.
Okay, so he would have been 4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 years ago that thing came out.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is, it's kind of depressing in some ways.
Well, now you brought me down.
Now we're all sad.
I mean, that was a pretty.
Miss my
At the
son.
time, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Oh, I mean, it was very popular. I mean, it's a feel-good movie. And I never really bought Ralph Macchio as he just looked so awkward compared to all the other Karate Kids in that movie, because...
Listen, what they did with the Netflix series, showing them in the present now, that really was a good series. It really was interesting.
And it helped him and
Is that the Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
And it helped him and William Zabke or whatever. Kind of, Ralph's done okay, but it's not like Ralph Macchio's been a huge Hollywood star. I mean, my cousin Vinny came out 32 years ago.
But I watched the first one and I thought, before I watched it, I thought, what the F are they going to do with this? And then
Is Martin Cove in it?
Yeah.
How old? What's he? He's got to be almost 80 now, isn't he?
He's old. I mean, it was.
Is he still mean?
Yes.
And,
it's a good, it is a good series.
I have heard that from a lot of people.
Is he still no mercy, sweep the leg? That kind
basically
of guy? Just mean.
Yeah.
But Pat Morita's dead, so he can't teach him a lesson.
Yeah. No, but they got lessons coming.
Right.
They have any flashbacks with Pat Morita?
They had a couple.
Did they really?
Yeah. No, it's a good series.
You realize though where that Karate Kid 2 was bearable. They went back to Okinawa, and Karate Kid 3 was ridiculous. That's that Thomas Ian Griffith or whatever, and they had that protege. But then the last one he did was with Hilary Swank. She was his karate.
Yeah.
You ever see that one?
No,
I saw.
It was one of her first movies. It was just
kind of.
I think they needed that series to die after the first one.
Yeah. Then somebody compared it to, well, next you're going to have Abbott and Costello meet the Karate Kid. Crap like that.
Well, that's good though that the series is okay because, like you said, as they kept doing more movies, just like Rocky, the more movies they did, the worse they got.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rocky series to think that it went from Rocky to Rocky 5.
It started on YouTube, and YouTube started showing the series the first season, and they didn't renew it.
Think about that though.
And
Rocky went from Rocky to him fighting Tommy Morrison in the back alley in Rocky 5.
Yeah, Rocky.
I read where he did not like Rocky 5. Stallone came out and said that was, and then remember they did Balboa, where he fought what was it, Mason Dixon or whatever, and then the two. Have you seen the two Creed movies?
No,
I saw both. They're okay. I mean, they're okay. In Creed 2, he fights Ivan Drago's son, and Ivan Drago's his corner man, and it's. It brings back but I thought the Rocky 4 in Russia, I just thought that was so stupid. Going over the run with
he's in some reality thing now, being Stallone or some damn thing.
Oh, I know with his daughters. I mean, why do people watch crap like that? And
I don't know, but they
keep promoting Jersey Shore's coming back with a new series. Who watches this stuff?
A lot of people.
People that
are they
40 years younger than we are?
Okay, I get what you're saying. Why do people like watching people their same age live their lives on what is the
idea?
What is the attraction to that?
Because they can't.
And these people in the Jersey Shore, they're obnoxious. They're just.
But it's a fantasy.
What's a fantasy? Being around a bunch of obnoxious people?
No, you see these people having fun, or having drama on their bunk beds, and then they go to these exotic places and do crap.
Well, have your own fun on your bunk bed.
You're filling a big hole. In
that Sycamore Mall.
I've never understood it. I've never understood it. I've never understood why someone 20 would want to watch other 20. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Jersey Shore.
Maybe looking for ideas. Who knows?
You guys have never watched that, have you? Jersey Shore?
For about 5 minutes once, and I said, "Why would anybody watch this crap?"
I've never watched that.
I mean, isn't it just a bunch of people between like 20 and 35 that hang out together?
Yeah.
And
there's one where they fantasize about being cowboys, and then this guy drives by them and
falls into the pothole.
Yeah, and wrecks his car. Drives by in his Jeep. But oh, that's the wrong line. Excuse me.
Now Hunter's taking care of it.
Yeah.
Hunter's got it. Hunter's on it.
But yeah, back to the Hawks. Men tomorrow at 1. What's the time tomorrow? Is it 1:15?
I think so.
Perfect. Another great Saturday game for Iowa.
1:15 at Illinois on the Big Ten Network.
Remember, a couple years ago, the big narrative was, God, Iowa doesn't get any. Remember, they hardly got any Saturday games. This year, they've given them a few. And like I said, I'm not ruling out the possibility of an upset. I mean, this Illinois team is obviously not great.
No, it's possible. We can win that.
But like if it was here tomorrow, I'd probably be picking Iowa and as a slight favorite. But since it's there, and to me, losing to Penn State doesn't help Iowa, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I look at things that way. I think Illinois now, they're under, all right, guys, we blew it. We got to really buckle down.
Well, and we saw last night, Indiana had lost to the Illinois women by 20 and came in and just blew the socks off us.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. What Iowa's got to do, man, is they got to figure out a way to contain Terrence Shannon in transition. it's hard to remember a player who gets from baseline to baseline with the ball in his hands quicker than he does.
Well, he does.
He is incredible. I mean, he is. You think when he's here for that last game, if the students show up, you know he's facing rape charges.
Yes.
And everywhere he goes, they're yelling, "No, me." You think the Iowa students will do that? Do you think they'll be?
Well, if they're there.
If they're there. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was thinking. That's a tough situation. I mean, didn't a judge overrule? A judge said you can't suspend him until without charge.
Yes, basically.
Basically,
Yep.
and he's playing.
Yep.
And he is really good. I mean, he's giving Edey a run for his money for player of the year. I still think it'll go to Edey, but I mean, right now all Big Ten you got Bowie, Edey, and Shannon. Those three for sure. And then after that, there's probably 8 or 9 players that could fill those last 2 spots. I mean, Coleman Hawkins, Tony Perkins. Trying to think for Wisconsin. Who does Wisconsin have that's a first-team All Big Ten?
Nobody.
Nobody really. Trying to think of who else. Tominaga will get some consideration.
Yeah, and probably should.
And probably should. And trying to think of who else is out there. Nobody for Penn State. Nobody really from Indiana, although I think that Jaleel Ware is good. I mean, he's been kind
Maryland's point guard is good.
Jameer Young,
Yeah.
I think, he's one of those guys. It'll come down to. And then, Dawson Garcia.
Yeah.
He's another one. I mean, Minnesota, like I said, they've had a great season. The fact that they're a game over 500. At least they were. I don't know. Did they play last night?
Not sure. I didn't see any of the men's scores last night.
And then Nebraska going in to win. I think this is it for Mike Woodson, don't you?
It kind of has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, Indiana, they got a quick trigger finger.
They do because they're the basketball version of Nebraska football.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they just long for the past and kind of live in the past and what have you. But Woodson's they just don't seem to be getting over the hump with him.
No, they don't. And they always seems like they should be better than they are. And maybe that's just because of their history. But
Well, the other thing too with what Hoiberg's doing at Nebraska, he's going to be on the. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep him.
yeah,
Because he's back in that sort
Preferred.
of. Well, he's got momentum going as a coach again. To where if a major program needs a coach, Fred Hoiberg is going to be somebody I could see they reached out to. He's done a hell of a job there. I mean, Nebraska's got so little tradition in men's basketball. It took a while, but man, right now they're playing real well. I mean, they're a good team.
and I saw where on the short list, you know how journalists or talking heads put out lists of coaching people who are on the short list.
Done it many
coaching.
times.
Yeah, and Otzelberg is on Ohio State's list.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I can see why. I'd be surprised. I mean, he's from Iowa.
Yeah.
And I know some people that sort of know him. He really likes being the Iowa State head coach, and it's a great program.
Well, he's got a top 10, 15 team.
Well,
I mean,
great. I mean, Hilton Coliseum is as good as any arena to play in, and I know a lot of people here call it Ames, but Ames is not that bad of a town. There's nothing wrong with Ames. I do like calling it Lames. I think it's funny.
I thought their campus was great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It
Lake
is.
Laverne, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Do you like calling it Lames?
I don't ever call it lambs.
Why? You rise above that?
I am
Above
so
petty
far-
grievances.
Yes, you know me.
Yes, I do.
You know I'm above
Petty grievances. You have no time for them. So, but yeah, it'll be Otzelberger's name. I'm surprised Darian DeVries' name doesn't get on more lists. He has done such a great job. I wish they'd keep him there. But eventually somebody's going to hire that guy. They have another 20-win season. I mean, Drake and Indiana State are by far the class of the Valley. He's done an incredible job.
He has.
He really has. I mean, if Fran decided he was going to retire after this year, I've told you before, Chris Collins and Darian DeVries would probably be two of the first 3 calls I would make.
God, I'd love Chris Collins would be great.
I think he'd be
terrific.
great at Iowa.
I do too.
I mean, look what he's winning with it. I mean, they're a good team, but they don't have great players. Outside of Boo Buie.
I mean, Brooks Barnheiser, come on.
Yeah, he was Purdue didn't even recruit him, even though he grew up in Lafayette. But he's turned out to be a good player.
Yeah, he has.
These players develop under Collins. But that might be one of those things. That would be a tough decision for Chris. I mean, there's going to be more pressure on him at Iowa. There's not a lot of pressure. You get to the NCAA tournament back-to-back
You're
at
a god.
Northwestern, you're a god.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. It'll also be interesting to see John Shire's doing okay at Duke, but they've taken a step back.
They have.
And it'll be interesting to see how long they're willing to do that if they continue to play at this level before they say, hey, Look what Collins has done. Let's bring Chris in. I mean, that'll be. I hope he stays at Northwestern. I like him there at Northwestern.
Did they really expect him to put out the same kind of teams that Coach K did? I mean, honestly.
Well, I doubt they did, but that's still the standard. I mean,
I know
you're not going to replace a legend and be under that bar consistently and last forever. I mean, it's delusional. I get it, but same thing happened when UCLA was looking for all those coaches after Wooden. I mean, Gary Cunningham. Some of these coaches won a ton of games, but it just didn't.
It wasn't enough.
But Duke is not where they have been under Coach K.
No.
And so, but yeah, Collins. I mean, he has just done an incredible job at Northwestern. Because when I look at their personnel, they don't have better personnel than Iowa.
No.
I mean, Boo Booey. But other than that, I'd take 3 or 4 Iowa players before most. I'd take Peyton Sanford over Brooke Bonheiser.
Oh. Times out of 100.
Somehow he figures out a way to win. They're 10-6 in the conference.
Well, because the pieces fit together.
They do. They fit together, and a lot of that's coaching.
Yeah.
And but would I be surprised at all if Iowa went in there and won? No, not at all. If Iowa's hot from 3, they can beat Northwestern. They really can.
So, are you still of the mind that Tony Perkins probably does not return to Iowa next year?
If I had to guess. That's a tough one, though. Are you asking that with the assumption that he's going to try to go to the NBA, or are you more worried about transfer portal?
I think either is a possibility.
I would say transfer portal would be more likely because I'm not sure, and I don't want this to sound. I don't think Tony right now is an NBA guard. I don't think he makes an NBA roster.
I agree with you.
And
he might be done with college though too, ready to go overseas and make
money.
But
go overseas. The difference though now, okay, do you want to go overseas? Or hell, hey, look, Kansas is willing to give you $200,000 to come play for them next year. That's what I would be more worried about if I was an Iowa fan. Yeah, and that's out there.
Yeah.
And that's if I was an Iowa fan hoping Tony. That's what would worry me the most.
For God's sakes, Isaiah Moss went for a year.
Didn't even start.
No.
I mean, I think Tony, wherever he goes, I think he would probably start. And but I mean, I don't know. That's going to be. Do you think he's back for a 5th year? 5 years at one program, that's a long time.
I kind of don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I don't know, obviously.
Yeah, it's kind of like I got the same gut feeling with him that I do with Caitlin. If you had to press me on it, I'd say, I'm guessing he'll either try to play professionally or but Iowa may have to come up with some money to keep him here, too, don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
And they know that. They know.
I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know how that works.
But let's say North Carolina says, hey, we got these guys leaving. You want to come down here for $300,000 and play? That'd be hard to turn down.
It would be.
Yeah, a couple $100,000. That's a good way to start your IRA and your retirement as a kid in college.
Russia is
our friend. They're our friend, right?
They're trying to recruit both men's and women's basketball players
so they can
through TikTok.
So they can arrest them. And
I guess.
Tell them?
I mean, it's the most
poison them.
But the woman's coach is still. I'm surprised he hasn't been poisoned. Because he.
Russia was the prime destination for women's basketball.
Yeah, they
overseas.
paid, and now they're paying. According to this article I read, they're paying almost double what any other European country is paying for Americans to come there.
God, I wouldn't
go there. They're advertising on TikTok.
I wouldn't touch that country.
No, well, nobody is.
Do you think Putin's favorite band is Poison? Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
You get the joke?
Get it. Yes. Yeah.
You think he listens to Poison?
Yeah, Pat.
Favorite song from the 80s? Poison.
There you go. Should we take a break?
Yes.
Regroup?
Yeah, with that.
It's already 10:00.
Yeah.
Hey, we had 2 guests on Wednesday show. Did he tell you?
I know.
It was cool. It was fun. Peyton was great. And
I got a lot of good comments.
Yeah, and
I have not. I've got it bookmarked. I haven't heard it yet.
But it was fun. I mean, it was fun talking to Adam. We had the past and the present for Hawkeyes, and it was fun. So we'll be back.
Got a lot of good comments on it.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. 800-ROAD. Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Truck Month at Deary Ford in Iowa City. Bring in your tax refund and save. Buy a new 2022 Ford F-150 with 0% financing and up to $8,000 off. We have over 75 top quality used vehicles. Trucks starting at $59.90 and cars from $49.90. Payments from $199 a month with 0 down. Truck Month at Deary Ford in Iowa City. Hurry in or shop online at DearyFord.com.
GT Carr, owner of Suple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Suple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Suple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. Car won't go into gear? Call Premier. Premier Automotive in North Liberty offers full-service mechanical auto repair, in addition to being Eastern Iowa's most trusted name in auto body repair. Use Premier for all your auto repair needs: brakes, oil changes, air conditioning, diagnostics, transmissions, or preventative maintenance. Whether you hit a deer or your car won't go into gear, see Premier Automotive in North Liberty.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know, if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember, we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen, bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
84 years of preparation. The wait is over. The Oxyokin's brand new book, Our Recipes, Our Story, is on sale now. 90 pages in full color, 67 recipes, and our unique history for only $24.99. Get yours while they last at the Oxyokin. Available soon by mail order along with our current serving hours at oxyokin.com.
The Oxyokin.
Oxyokin, in the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Still feeling like spring here today as highs soar to the low 50s under a mix of sun and clouds and some breezy west winds that are gusting up to 25 miles per hour. We stay breezy tonight and take a little hit to our temperatures for Saturday as highs climb to the mid-40s. But we've got abundant sunshine all weekend long, and that's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it's 42.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We are back.
We are. Breaking it down, whatever it is.
I was lamenting I can't eat meat today.
Aw.
I think I'm having a fish fry with my neighbors.
Oh.
I think. I just got to find something I like. Where do you go to buy fresh seafood in this town? He says his wife waits for a truck to come up from Louisiana.
She does. About every.
I got seafood before from Bread Garden.
I mean, they have.
And there's seafood at the Hy-Vees.
And I don't get me wrong. I spend a ton of money at Hy-Vee. I go there all the time. But their seafood, I wouldn't call that top notch.
Oh, it's fish.
It's okay. Yeah, I know, but it's tilapia, cat. It's like not.
They got like
salmon.
Lobsters.
There's salmon.
They have salmon. Which is usually what I get. They have salmon, tilapia.
They got shrimp.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, what was that place out in West Des Moines? The Waterfront Restaurant, I think it was. Man, they had great fresh seafood. But I'm like I said, I'm not a huge seafood fan, so I have to.
Well, there's not a lot of huge seafood fans here, actually.
No, not. But yeah. So I mean,
I am. I love seafood.
I guess I could get like I could get a 14-inch vegetable pizza from Sam's, couldn't I?
Yeah,
you can always do
we
that.
Could get cheese.
Yeah,
cheese.
Maybe I could.
Cheese pizza with pepperoncini peppers.
Hey, you know what I did last night? I was inspired by your wife. I made chicken and peppers.
Oh, good.
It was good. I had chicken thighs and looked up this recipe: paprika, sweet chili, red pepper flakes, garlic.
So kind of a chicken paprika kind of thing.
It was four thighs, and put olive oil in pan, seared them, and then mixed them in with the peppers and cooked them a little bit longer. Then put them in the oven for 25. Oh man, was it good! I ate all four chicken thighs too, because sometimes chicken thighs can be tiny. You know, and two of them were tiny, and I ate it all last night. And
so the chickens didn't work out at all. So
they must not have. But the peppers, and they encourage you to use orange and yellow peppers, and that's what I'd never cooked with those before, and it does make it. Didn't you say Ann used orange?
Yeah,
it does make a difference. They said to stay away from green, so I didn't use. And greens use it, but no, it was good. Chicken and peppers. I'll do that more often.
Green peppers are a little more. I'm not sure what the word is. A little more biting, or a little more
I know
stronger. I don't
know.
Well,
the other ones are a little sweeter.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're just a little sweeter. But no, it was good. I for some reason I couldn't think of what I wanted to eat. I thought about you saying how good your wife's chicken and pepper. I'm like, so I looked up a recipe and boom, it was easy to make too.
We went to Brown Bottle when we were coming.
Is that still in Iowa City?
No, it's in Waterloo though. It's the same one, but it's in Waterloo. And yeah, we were coming back from Mayo, and I got spaghetti and meatballs.
I used to get that there,
and got so much. Honest to God, had a dinner, and then Jan and I split a dinner last night, and I still had I still had like another serving and a half.
What happened
they
to the
give
brown
you so much, it's ridiculous.
What happened to the brown bottle here?
Closed.
Yeah.
Why? Was it COVID?
It was before that.
Didn't they get tired of it?
They got tired of it and competing with Giovanni's, and Giovanni's was winning.
Is it still open, Giovanni's?
No. The minute Brown Bottle closed, it seems like the minute.
So what's there now?
Was a couple months. Mexican
Reunion.
place. Oh, Reunion's there now. Yeah, but it was replaced. by a Mexican.
I thought
place.
Reunion was out on.
It is.
Oh, so there's two Reunions.
locations.
Yes.
Okay.
Reunion's got a great brunch.
I've been told that. I think by
Yes,
you.
they do.
Yeah, by me.
By you several times.
Well,
and did I hear that the IRP is going to be the hotel now?
IRP and the Highlander are joining forces. It's Denise.
And it's going to be out at the Highlander, right?
Yes.
Right off the interstate.
That's right.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. Will it be so they'll have that same Sunday brunch and everything?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And then, do we know what's going in the old IRP building yet? Has that been resolved?
No, was it John Lundell was saying that it's going to be a full-service restaurant?
Full-service restaurant, but I thought it was going to be something else, too.
I don't know.
And you might have missed it yesterday, but the guy that owes you $20, Bradman, has a movie on Tubi.
What's Tubi?
Tubi is an app. It's a free app.
It sounds creepy.
Yeah. It's owned by Fox.
I thought it was owned by Jeffrey Toobin.
No.
It's really
Jeffrey Toobin's back.
It's really exclusive. They have 40,000 movies.
Well, I don't know what You could glom on to the fact.
So he
worked here.
What's the movie?
He's a superhero.
Who made the movie?
He did.
Like, is it just him carrying around a camera of himself?
No, they made a movie. Somebody, I don't know who, but it stars him. It's called the Bradman movie.
Okay. There's some things that are just better left unsaid. I don't. Do you have any interest?
Concur. No, I wouldn't.
I just couldn't.
I'd gouge my eyeballs out before I watched that.
Okay. Old Andy Griffith episodes or Bradman's movie?
Andy.
Roy Rogers.
Roy.
Happy trail.
Lawrence Welk show or Bradman? I'd go Larry Welk.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going Larry Welk.
That's close. How long do you have to watch it?
For the full hour.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'd harken back to having to watch that with my dad. So maybe.
But see, my dad. I remember my dad turning that show on Sundays. Sundays, right?
Yeah, it was on
And I remember him saying, he looked at my, why the hell do people watch this stuff?
Listen,
my dad didn't like the Larry Welk show.
I was the first time I had some problems. I was at UAHC. It was Saturday night, and I mean, you could hear the televisions blaring that out of every freaking room.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Well, somebody must have liked it. It was on forever.
Yeah, my favorite was when...
It's still on.
My favorite was when, I don't know, they had Bobby and some...
Yeah, Sissy.
Bobby and Sissy singing One Toke Over the Line.
Yeah. I remember that. I do remember seeing that.
Those saccharine smiles.
Okay, back to the Hawks. Big baseball game, Iowa versus Auburn tonight. Is it at 4 or 5? They're down in Jacksonville, Florida. I think it's 5.
At 5.
Brody Breck pitching for Iowa. I assume that's the rotation they announced. They seem pretty set on their rotation. I don't know much about Auburn, but it's an SEC team, so I'm assuming they're going to have some good players. Now with Brody, just throw strikes, man. I mean, last time out, it was a kind of a typical Brody, great strikeouts, 11 strikeouts, but he only lasted 4 1/3 innings because he walked 6. So hopefully he can keep those walks limited.
So that's on D1Baseball.com.
And I think I saw it was at like $10 a month. I thought
probably,
it said.
yeah. That's what Flow Hoops was when I got that to watch the women play in that tournament down in Estero.
Captain, you may know, if for me to get a streaming device through Mediacom, don't I have to call Mediacom? I can't just do it on my own, can I?
Yes, you can.
And all of a sudden it just pops up on my...
You buy a Roku.
What if I don't want to buy a Roku?
Then you're not going to get a streaming. But if you buy a Roku, the Rokus are like...
So Mediacom, you can't... It has nothing to do with Mediacom?
No. Nothing to do with it.
Okay.
No. It's just your internet. You get a streaming device, it's $30. You plug it into your...
50
or whatever, yeah, but you can get them for $30. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to do it for Division I baseball.
But then you plug it into your HDMI plug in the back of the set, and then you can stream anything.
You have to pay for it, a lot of it, but don't you?
Well, no, you got Tubi's free.
I mean, but if you want to watch this baseball,
if you want to watch the baseball, it's $10.
Yeah.
But that thing, the thing with Bradman, why would anyone pay to?
They don't.
So
it's free.
Is he trying to become like a actor?
He's always seen himself as a star.
Yeah, and he's
a star of what?
Well, you loaded $20.
Well,
you got him a start.
A star.
I loaded. Who knows?
He'd already been working here. Hell, I think. Didn't you used to love him? Didn't you think he was like the next great star in Iowa City?
I thought he was going to be the next great star until I worked with him.
Yeah, I never understood your.
It was hard because he's
none
very.
Of us did, Pat.
He was creative.
Oh,
he was creative.
I disagree. From what I saw, I didn't see any creativity.
No, he did some shows that were very creative, but it wasn't. But his personality was.
I just didn't find him funny.
Overbearing.
He did one thing for the station that we are grateful. I'm grateful for. Yes.
What's that?
He got us up to date with the technology.
Yeah, we started streaming when other stations didn't. I mean, we started streaming in 2006. I mean, we've been streaming since then.
Yeah, but I never understood that one.
No.
He did some shows when he was working with Natalie, and they were good shows.
I'll take your word for it.
Natalie was good. Yeah. Natalie was terrific.
Well, I think that working with him, if you never would have known him and you just would have listened to some of the shows,
it would have done nothing for me.
It would.
I just didn't find him interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I guess it's just all a matter of opinion. I just found it was just.
With you 100%.
Just not interested.
Well, it's not like I just went and picked him out. Didn't I confer with you?
No.
Well, then I know why.
I think you thought he was going to be your Taylor Swift.
I thought he was going to be my Pat Brady.
Who's Pat Brady?
The guy that had the Jeep at Roy Rogers.
Oh, okay. So
keep up, Pat.
But yeah, that's definitely one movie I will not be watching.
I'm with you.
I would recommend White Boy Rick over that one. So, but
well, if I can find it to record it, I will.
That's
You'll
his
find
next
it.
movie.
What, White Boy Rick?
White Boy Brad, man.
Yeah. Is he out in California?
I don't have any idea.
I met him through Feeney. Because remember, I used to go down. He used to do that Iowa Public Television show where he had the David Letterman, Johnny Carson format.
There was a time though. There was a time because I was bitching about he owed me $600, and he did because we advanced him $600, and I said that on the air that he owed me $600, and for the next 2 hours on the air, I took calls from people that he owed money to, and then you came in here when you were still with the Press Citizen and goes, "Hey, that guy owes me $20."
He does owe me $20 because I went out with him and Feeney one night, and he didn't have any money, and I lent him $20, and he said I never saw him again. Now, that's $20 that I don't mind. I can live without.
But if you had that with interest now,
yeah,
I took one call after another.
Yeah.
One freaking call after another for 2 hours.
But do you remember his Iowa Public Television show?
Hi, Tommy Lang.
No, it wasn't an Iowa Public Television. It was Public Access.
Public Access, yeah, that's what I meant.
What's
Public
that?
Access.
Yeah, he was.
I think something, Steve, you forgot to mention is that movie was crowdsourced. People gave him money to make that.
They gave him money to make that.
Just random people sending in money.
Oh, how much? Yeah, okay.
Oh, in the tens of thousands. Very seriously.
Why? I mean,
I don't know why.
I mean, my brother and I made movies when we were, 11, 12 years old, so anybody can make a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's got special effects and stuff. I mean,
well, we had special effects.
Do you sense a little soft spot for Bradman still there?
I do. I've never seen. I mean, the guy has a movie on it. I just thought I'd point it out.
And
I'm not friends with him. I don't talk to him. I don't follow him on Facebook. Somebody said, "Hey, have you seen this?" And
we're saying that we're just not interested, right?
We're saying we're not interested.
So let's move on from.
And there's a reason for that.
What's your reason?
Because we're not interested.
Yeah, just not interested.
You don't like Roy Rogers. You don't like the Lone Ranger.
No, but I did watch both of those. I did. Because, I mean, there were 3 things on.
Yeah.
And Roy Rogers was probably opposite, who knows what. You probably know.
Yeah, in the Quad Cities, it was opposite Quick Draw McGraw.
Well, see, I would watch Quick Draw McGraw.
That's when I started watching.
Well, I think you guys being 10 and 15 years older than me, too, is...
Sure.
I mean, but by the time I was watching TV, was the Lone Ranger still on in the 70s?
Lone Ranger's still running today.
But was it on? What I mean, I know it's
But you mean first run TV or whatever you call it.
I don't. It was much more accessible back then.
Yeah, I think it ended in 57 or 58, something like that.
Okay. So, but yeah, the baseball team is down in Jacksonville, Florida, for a 3-game tournament. Do you have the schedule in front of you?
I do.
Auburn today. Who is it tomorrow?
Virginia.
Okay.
Is at 3:00 Saturday.
I mean, that's two pretty good opponents.
And then at 11 a.m. Sunday, Wichita State, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they're not as good as they used to be a premier power, but they're still a respectable. That's going to be 3 good tests for all 3 pitchers. And Iowa baseball right now is 3-1. Man, they win all 3 of those games or go 2-1. Like I said, and then they're back. They play Northern Illinois next Tuesday, don't they?
I think, yeah, they do.
And what's the weather next Tuesday?
Maybe some rain, 70. 70. And then rain and snow. It goes from 70 to the mid-20s.
Well, yeah, like I said, the thing I saw had 74 for the high for Tuesday and high the next day 39. Yeah. But still, 39, I can live with that.
Hello.
I made it about an hour through Bradman, the movie, last night.
Did you really?
It's pretty bad.
It's an hour you'll never get back.
It looks like a high school movie production.
What did you expect?
Yeah, it has special effects, but they are bad. And I would say the opening credits are the best part of the movie.
So you're saying he's not the next Spielberg?
No, just watch the opening credits and then turn it off.
Well, there you
but
go.
I was surprised. It is, if you look it up, it is in IMDb.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what
they
that is.
list all the movies coming out, and they list the actors in them and things like that. Yeah.
All right. Well.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
I'm even less motivated now to watch it.
So, how many stars would you give?
Down.
2 thumbs down. Okay.
0.
Okay. Wow. Being very critical.
But I'm impressed that he did it.
He was.
He made it through an hour, he said.
Yeah.
But it must be longer than an hour, this movie.
It must be.
God. You said he plays like a superhero?
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think, he used to be kind of doughy.
He's still doughy.
How superheroes?
Doughy's fat.
Superheroes aren't out of shape, are they?
Well, he is.
But then how's he a superhero? He's got
he drinks this energy drink and becomes a superhero.
And then, like, people fly on his back. What do they hang on to his saddlebags?
We don't know.
But you don't see too many out of shape superheroes.
I will tell you, I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, gee. Okay.
IMDb, Bradman the movie. Bradley is a struggling comedian who, through a series of events, gains superpowers and finds himself a middle-aged superhero facing several challenges.
First, one being out of shape.
Does it rate it?
Yeah. Yes, it gives it 3 stars.
Out of how many?
No.
100.
Here, the rating in Unlimited is 4.8 out of 10.
Well, that's not a ringing endorsement.
That's like my algebra score.
It's not thumbs down either. So
4.8 out of 10.
Okay, but almost half the people that watched it liked it.
Here he is defending him again.
I'm just telling you what it says. Hello.
I like it 4 point out of 10 is not very impressive.
4.8 out of 10?
I don't find that very impressive. That's an F in grading.
That's an F in.
I know that those were my algebra grades.
Any grading system.
Yes, that's an F.
Hello.
What about the Blob? That's a fat superhero, isn't he? Or is he a superhero?
The Blob? No, he was a monster.
He was a monster who just came to menace.
Yeah. Oh, he was mean.
Yeah.
All right.
He was mean.
No, Caller, you're right. There was in the X-Men, there was a bad guy called the Blob. He was just a big fat guy. You punch him and your fist would go into his gut, and he just hold it.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the 50s movie, The Blob.
That's what I thought he was talking about. Yeah, I've never seen the X-Men. I've never seen the X-Men.
And also, the Kingpin is also very fat.
Yeah, I don't watch the X-Men.
Jabba the Hutt was super fat.
He was fat, yeah.
More times than not, though, your superheroes aren't going to be fat.
Peter Griffin's not sculpted. Of course, he's not a superhero, but... Who was the Minnesota football coach that looked like Peter Griffin? He was
Tracy Clays.
Yes.
Remember him?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Exactly like
he got promoted when somebody got fired, or was it because Jerry Kill was having health issues?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And didn't Tracy Clays beat Iowa once? When he shouldn't have?
I think so.
The worst though is when Jeff Horton beat Iowa. Remember they were 1-10, I think, going into that game. That was the 2010 Iowa team that just fell apart at the end of the season. Remember that?
They did.
That was one of the 97 and 2010 to me. Well, yeah, 97 to me is probably the worst, most disappointing season.
Wasn't 2010 the Wisconsin fake punt year?
Yeah, that was the team that went 8-5,
Yeah.
and that was just loaded. They had so many talented players on that team. And
God, we went to that game in Arizona, and God, it was expensive, and the
hot
game
and mean.
sucked.
And they were mean, the fans. But you remember the 97 season, though. That team started 4-1. Tavian Banks was it was in Sports Illustrated, and they were just on a roll. You had TNT detonates, Tim and Dwight and Tavian, and then they went to Ohio State, got manhandled at Ohio State, and then remember they led Michigan at halftime 21-7, I think it was. Michigan.
That was our unofficial broadcast from Grizzlies.
Yeah,
that game.
Remember Michigan made the mistake of punting to Dwight late in the second quarter, and he returned it for a touchdown. And I remember thinking at halftime, man, they might win this game. And then Sherman got hurt in the second half. They had that key personal foul on Raj Clark that kept the drive going for Michigan, and they never really recovered. And then remember they had the kicking issues. Bromert missed a few field goals they lost to Wisconsin and Northwestern by like 13-10 scores. And I'll never forget after the Northwestern game, Tavian Banks was so pissed. He's like, if we had somebody who could make a 20-yard field goal, we might be winning these games. And that was just a really frustrating season. That team went 7-5.
Yeah, with that talent.
Tim Dwight, Tavian Banks, Damon Gibson was a wide receiver on that team. He played 8 years in the NFL. Yeah. That team was loaded. And now one of the bad, Vernon Rollins got hurt against Iowa State. That was a key loss. I mean, that was a big loss for that 97 team. But that was just, if I had to rank my worst seasons covering Iowa, that would be number one. 2010 would be right up there.
That was one of the most disappointing seasons I've ever.
97 or 2010?
2010.
Yeah, I'd rank 97 even a little higher just because of how high that team got up in the rankings. And they had Tim Dwight and Tavian Banks and Matt Sherman. Now, Sherman did get hurt, though. That didn't help. But they just it was a big drop-off from Sherman. I think Randy Reiners was the quarterback who replaced him. He wasn't ready yet. He was still pretty young and what have you. And then the other really disappointing season is 2007 when they lost to Western Michigan with a chance to go to the bowl game. And that was the season where Christensen played the whole way. The offense it was kind of like watching this offense, although they weren't as bad. They were better statistically, but that was a pretty brutal offense.
We were up in Mark Ginsburg's box at the game for the Western Michigan game. That was one of the most jaw-droppingly disappointing game.
Well, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think the Copper Bowl was there to extend the invitation. The guy was there. And then they lost.
Yeah.
And they just, at 6-6, they weren't going to go to a bowl that year. And that was not a great Western Michigan team, but that was a very deflating way to end the season.
Sure was.
And then remember, 2008 they were 3-3, and people were starting, what is wrong with Iowa football? Things are not looking good. Then all of a sudden they climbed on Sean Green's back and won 6 of their last 7 to win 9 games. And then 2009 they had that huge season.
Great season.
But then 10,
Ricky got
11,
hurt.
and then 10, 11, and 12. Remember 2012 they went 4-8. There's just been so many ebbs and flows. But when you stay in one place for 25 years like Kirk has, that's what's going to happen.
Likely. Yep.
He's been here a long time.
Yes.
And like I said, people have asked me, I'm anywhere from 9-3 to 7-5 next year because the schedule to me is not going to be as tough as I once thought because I don't think Washington's not going to be as good as they were last year.
And they're here.
And it's here, and I don't think Ohio State. Yeah, I think Ohio State's going to be really good.
And we don't seem to play all that well on the West Coast, so I'm not.
The
UCLA's not great.
I don't know what to make of UCLA. Yeah, they hired Deshaun Foster, a former running back, as their head coach, and so it'll be interesting. One thing I will say, UCLA is going to have talented skill players.
Yes,
they always do.
They always do.
They always do, and it's out there, right? Or is that here?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
The Rose Bowl. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's going to be an interesting game. It'll be interesting to see the crowd for that game. Because UCLA does not draw that well.
No, they don't.
I've seen UCLA games where that stadium is 2/3 empty. I think there'll be more. I think Iowa will have some fans there.
Well, maybe Caitlin Clark can travel with the team and fill up the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that was when we asked Peyton.
Yeah.
He said Caitlin Clark basically just playing air guitar was his first choice. Then he settled for Luke Combs to make his girlfriend happy, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now it was a good answer, But yeah, that schedule next year to me does not look as tough. Now, of course, compared to this past year's schedule, yes, it's very tough. But this past year's schedule is one of the easiest I can remember Iowa playing.
Yeah, true. Well, we have Wisconsin at home.
And how good are they? How good are they going to be? Is Mordecai? Does he have another year?
Yes.
Mordecai does have another year.
Yes,
but I don't think Wisconsin's that good. They're nothing like
they
were
last year.
They're nothing like they were during the peak of Barry, and they're way far below that level of play.
Even our offense was able to score a few points against them.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't consider Wisconsin. Of course it's going to be a tough game, but I'm just saying it's not like what it used to be. The non-conference schedule is what? Troy,
Iowa State,
and who do they start the season with? Troy's not the.
Oh boy,
I think Troy's the third game. I don't have the schedule in front of me. Is it Illinois State?
That might be. That sounds right.
Okay, so they have 2 non-conference games that they should win pretty easily.
Although Troy,
they're not bad, but
not bad.
Iowa should beat Troy.
At home.
No knock on Troy or anywhere on the moon. They should beat Troy. They just should. And Iowa State game though, that's going to be.
That'll be a challenge.
That'll be a challenge.
But it's at Kinnick.
It's at Kinnick. I think that definitely helps, and it'll be interesting to see what Iowa State does. I don't know. Maybe have you heard anything about who they're going to replace Shieldhouse with?
I have not heard anything.
That's a big hire for them. It'll be interesting to see who. It'll be interesting to see who he brings in, what they do.
Well, I wonder if Kirk ever reached out to Shieldhouse or not.
That's I wrote a column saying I thought he would be someone that would be worth reaching out to.
I know you were very
well. It's obvious. Look, the Rams just hired him, and part of the reason I did that though is because he did have an Iowa connection. His dad played here.
Yeah,
it's not like he's just completely a stranger to the program. Plus, he played at a Big Ten school. So, but I think maybe Kirk knew that. Nate's hearing from NFL teams. He wants to go the NFL route. So who knows? It's hard to know what's in a coach's mind when he's doing a search because we don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. Who knows? Maybe Kirk did reach out and people close to Shieldhouse said, now he's waiting to hear from some NFL teams. Who knows? I just think he would have been. I think he would have been a hire that would have excited fans.
Yeah.
Plus, I think they would like the idea of taking away Iowa State.
Yes, they would. Of course, they would.
Yeah. But we'll see. We've got to give Tim Lester a chance. See what happens.
Yeah, we do.
Spring ball is not going to be real telling to me because McNamara's not going to be 100%.
No.
I guess the interesting storyline this spring will be who emerges as the backup quarterback. I think a lot of Iowa fans are hoping and convincing themselves that it's going to be Leonez.
Yes.
So I think a lot of it is hope. I think
I'm one of them.
Yeah, and I can see why. Deacon was given a long, big opportunity, many opportunities, and he just didn't seize it.
Well, and, yes, I know he could get better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no question about it, but he's just way too many turnovers.
Yeah.
Way too many.
And he's not much of a threat to move the pocket. That's the other thing. We know Leonez can do that. Now, Leonez has a long way to go as a passer. We could tell that.
Yeah, he did not look good.
But they just need to hope that Cade is healthy and can play at least close to 100%.
That would be great. But if we put all of our eggs in that basket,
They've already done that.
Well, they could still get a portal quarterback in the spring.
But they're not going to with Cade McNamara.
Yeah, probably not.
And if they do get one, it's not going to be somebody who thinks he's going to come in and play right away. They're not looking for it. I don't think they're really even looking for a quarterback right now. Cade's their guy.
Yeah.
And that's the risk. That's the risk. And I don't think anyone who wants to play next year start and be guaranteed to start is going to consider Iowa because Cade McNamara is there. He's the guy. And I think that's why he put out that stuff on social media. I'm back. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Right there to me, that thing with that quarterback from Oregon that supposedly was going to
Ty Thompson.
He never even ended up visiting. So I don't know.
No.
That story was weird.
It was weird.
Because Cade's their guy. And I think they've made that pretty clear. Cade McNamara is their quarterback next year. He said it. They've said it.
Well, let's hope that he can play then.
Yeah, and he will have had time to heal. He got hurt in September. He got hurt the last day of September.
Yeah.
It takes about 7 to 9 months to recuperate from
That's what they say.
Roughly around there. He should be okay. He should have at least a good month to prepare at 100%, assuming it progresses the way it should.
Especially with the medical community that this.
Yeah, he's going to have all the
university
top-notch
has.
medicine. So I'm assuming he's going to be 100%, barring any setbacks. But then last year, the knee was supposedly 100%, but then he hurt his soft tissue, and he was never really the same after that.
No, he wasn't.
And the knee injury happened. All he did, it buckled. He didn't get hit. It just gave way. That's why you worry about is he just injury prone? Is this it?
Well, he hasn't been healthy for
2
the
years
better
in a
part
row.
of 3 years.
He's played 8 games now. Yeah, So it's going to be interesting. I wrote a column a couple of weeks ago. To me, one of the stories that's just being overlooked by all this focus on the coordinator is the fact that Iowa's put all their eggs in Cade McNamara's basket. To me, that's risky. That's no knock on Cade either, but it's risky.
It sure is. Because, no offense to Deacon, I'm sure he's a great guy.
But he's not ready.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, he just did not do anything to inspire confidence.
Unless Tim Lester is a magician at teaching the quarterback position.
Yeah, but the one thing he can't make Deacon any more mobile.
Well, someone in the chat room
Is it my
said
nephew?
Deacon Hill is Brad Mann's stunt double. The movie.
Well, that's harsh.
On Brad or Deacon?
Deacon.
I was kidding. On Deacon. Deacon is a good guy. I wished it would have worked out for him. He had a couple. Now, in fairness to Deacon, too, he did have some drops. There were some key drops this year that could have maybe changed some of the way these games unfolded. He did have some drops. Now, part of that, too, though, is because he throws it too damn hard.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw with much touch.
And not much accuracy.
No, he missed a lot of open targets. But then when you just cannot move the pocket and the defense doesn't have to worry about you scrambling, makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But spring football starts in about another a little over 3 weeks, I think. Think about it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that spring football is right around the corner? And you watch during the times they're practicing, it'll probably be back in the 20s again, snowing.
Hello.
I forgot to say one thing about Brad Mann, the movie, why I quit watching it. It was so gross watching him make out with this young girl. Have you seen it?
No.
Captain?
No. God,
no.
When you say young, what are we talking about here?
Like 20, probably.
Oh, God.
Does she have her clothes on?
That poor girl.
Well, at least for the first hour she did.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm not
She
going
didn't get paid enough.
She probably drank Listerine for a month after that.
Yeah, I will tell you right now, I'm not going to watch it. I just thought it was something to bring up. I didn't know that it would be dispelled. So
you wasted an hour of this man's life yesterday.
Well, I didn't think anybody'd really watch it. No offense.
Are you a little bothered by hearing
your
what
money
you just heard?
back from Tom Arnold?
Can you imagine being that poor 20-year-old girl if she went home from work that day?
I'm in the movies, Mom.
Yeah.
Making out with a guy that looks like Louis Anderson. He did sort of look like Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
I didn't need to hear that.
Okay, well, you're the one person listening to this station who's watched that movie.
And hopefully you don't have a worse phone call coming.
Thanks for the call.
I didn't like hearing that.
That's
Did
a little
you?
oogie.
You like hearing? How old is he? He's got to be in his 40s, 50s, isn't he?
Got to be 50.
God, I hope she got paid well for that.
I would think he's 50.
Oh, I don't think so.
What are you
don't think
Googling
he
him?
is? Yeah.
You think he's got his own?
Yes, I know he does. This guy's.
Why would Bradman have his own Google page? Am I missing something here?
Narcissistic?
You think he made it himself?
Of course.
Bradley Laberman, television director. He is 49.
Okay,
Oh,
right around.
you were close.
I gotta.
Wow.
Let me see.
Here, I'll make it larger. Yeah.
Got a little Louis in him.
A little bit.
A little Louis in there. Captain's bringing back all these great memories.
Well, he's got one more movie on in the world than I do.
Yep.
So I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Though I am the voice in Mindhunter.
Yes, I heard you.
Yeah, but other than that, no. But he's on screen.
You think Caitlin Clark's heard of him?
No.
I hope not.
I hope not, for her sake. Let's hope not. But no, I'm for some reason I'm bothered by hearing that he's making out with a young. That's troublesome.
Yeah.
That's troublesome.
Yeah, unless you're like Dennis Quaid.
Which he ain't.
Or
not even close.
Or one of the Rolling Stones.
Not even close.
God, all right, let's change the subject.
Okay.
This show is
Let's
just
move along.
God, to think we had Haluska and Stanford on 2 days ago. Now it's this.
2 short days ago.
It's amazing how far we can regress and how quickly we can do it.
We're like the Iowa offense.
No, they're
no, they were remarkably consistent.
Yes.
Okay.
No, they did run for 200 yards. Was it Wisconsin, right? Didn't they run for 200 yards against Wisconsin?
Yeah, but like
80
on
one play, 82 on one play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but still,
it still counts.
Yeah.
But
and what about all this stuff on Twitter yesterday about EA Sports? About all these announcers finding out that they're. I don't know much about EA Sports. Do you?
Not much.
It's a video game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're video games.
And the player, they're paying out some NIL.
Aren't all the college players getting like $600 each or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
That's something.
Yeah, I'm just not a video game.
That's what started the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
was EA Sports.
Mm-hmm.
That's what started it. When people are, graduated college and everything, and all of a sudden they pick up these games, or they go into bars where they're playing the games. I think
and seeing themselves.
It started with Ed O'Bannon.
Yeah, and he went into a bar, and he saw himself.
That was 25, almost 30 years ago.
On the screen. That's what started the whole thing.
Yeah, Ed O'Bannon was on UCLA's national championship team in '95, and he saw himself on a video game and says, hey, I want some money for this.
And it took 30 years for it to happen.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Hawkeye news, you saw Marvin McNutt was just named the head football coach at Keokuk High School.
Keokuk.
Interesting. Good luck to him. That's a interesting hire. Hopefully it works
keep
out.
An eye on that.
I don't know if Keokuk has a lot of rich tradition in football. I haven't heard much about it, so we'll see. Good for him. It makes me wonder if Marvin applied for the wide receiver job at Iowa. I don't know if he did. It would seem logical that maybe he did.
It would seem logical.
But good for him, though. I mean, high school coaching football, that's not an easy job, man. You don't make much money doing it. It takes a lot of time.
You got to love the teaching aspect of things.
Well, I don't think he's the teacher. I'm not sure if he's an educator. I don't know. Last I heard, he was a car salesman. I wonder, he's been living in Cedar Rapids. I would assume he's got to, but you can't commute. I mean, he's got to live down there, doesn't he?
Yes.
Keokuk's the far southeast corner of the state, isn't it?
Yes, it's 90 miles from here.
Easily, yeah. So, but I just saw that was announced a couple days ago, so good for him. Oh, and then we got Iowa wrestling at Oklahoma State. Is that what day? Is that tonight?
That is.
Or is that Saturday or Sunday?
Women's wrestling is Friday.
It's tonight.
Let's see, men's wrestling.
Sunday at 2. And that is
Sunday as Tommy said, Sunday at 2, FS1.
That's the regular season finale. Then I believe they have a week off, and then the next week they go to the Big Tens, I believe. So Oklahoma State right now is ranked number 2, too. So they've kind of had a little bit of a surge. Now they're considerably below Penn State, of course. But still, so it'll be interesting to see if.
Well, it's obviously not a given this year that we're going to anything but.
Well, it's not a given that Iowa's going to finish runner-up.
No.
I mean, it seems like everybody's competing for the runner-up spot. Barring injuries, Penn State looks unstoppable.
They do.
I mean, everyone was talking about Nebraska matches up really well in a dual meet, and Nebraska did, I think, win 3 of the first 4 matches, but Penn State ended up winning 27-13. I mean, they've just got so much depth at so many positions. 5 number 1 guys. Half of their lineups ranked number 1. That's Iowa from the 80s and 90s. Yeah.
So McNutt is worth $5 million. It's not worth.
No way.
That's what it says. That's what it said on the number.
I mean, he never played in the NFL. There's no way he's worth $5 million. But I mean, you've called up things. I'm not knocking him. But
I'm just saying.
There's just no way unless he inherited something I'm not aware of. But he never played in the NFL. He never had an NFL contract, and maybe he sold more cars than I thought. Who knows? I'm not knocking him.
That's selling a lot of cars.
But I don't believe that he's worth $5 million. I mean, especially without playing in the NFL. But I'll tell you what, man, he was great at Iowa.
Sure was.
Well, maybe he had other money.
His senior year, when he had 1,300 yards receiving, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen from a wide receiver. Yeah, maybe maybe there's something I'm not aware of.
Maybe he got into real estate or something.
Yeah, who knows? If he did that, hey, more power to him.
He played for the Eagles.
He never played in the game.
Okay, but I mean,
he didn't make. I mean, he never
didn't make big money or anything.
Well, he never. I don't think he ever really. He played on the. He was on the practice squad, but I don't believe he ever appeared in a game. Yeah. So if he is worth $5 million, it's not from the NFL.
Yeah.
But hey, more power to him.
Yeah.
But those things are so inaccurate.
Well, yeah. But I always now before I say anything, I check.
And maybe if he is worth $5 million, that's why he could go make that type of move and go down there. And like I said, if he is worth more power to him. I would just be
sometimes
surprised.
Even though he didn't make a lot, he invested it, and he could have made it that way.
From what, the NFL?
Yeah. Got to have something to invest, though.
Yeah, I don't think he made he never stuck on the roster. I think he was on a practice squad briefly.
Yeah. And what do you make on the practice squad?
I have no idea. It's not $5 million.
No.
But yeah, maybe he did something in Karst or something we're not aware of. And if he did, hey, more power to him. I don't want to sound like I'm knocking him. I'm not. I just would find that very hard to believe. But hey, I wish him good luck down there. He wants to be a coach, and he's got a chance now, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, you've seen there's a big separation between the haves and the have-nots in football. I mean, it's getting wider at the high school. I mean, when you guys read off your scores, so many of the scores you read off during football season are not even competitive.
No, they're not.
And basketball's starting to get that way a little bit, too. I've noticed a lot of these.
There's a fair amount of that.
Just 80 to 20, 70 to 30. I just wish there was a little bit more of an even line between the haves and the have-nots, but especially in football, though, it's really wide.
Nephew says got to start somewhere, and then Joe McCormick, whoever that is, Keokuk is a stepping stone toward a coaching career.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, of course.
That's probably how he's looking at it, and whether he wants to go to call, whatever. I mean, he's there now, and you use that as your. I'll tell you what, if he has success as the Keokuk football coach, Marvin will have opportunities.
Yeah, I would think
he definitely will, partly because of who he is. Being Marvin McNutt helps. He's got a name to himself. He's the all-time leading receiver at Iowa. I mean, he played at a level wide receiver-wise that we don't see very often. I mean, he was really good, a former converted quarterback. So good luck to him. I thought that was pretty cool when I saw that. And I give Keokuk credit for taking a chance on him, too. He doesn't have a ton of experience. I know he coached wide receivers at Co. for a couple of years, but they're taking a chance on him partly because he's Marvin McNutt. But when you achieve success like that, you do get doors opened that other people may share. Maybe it's not fair, but that's life. Marvin McNutt has a name, just like your boy Bradman.
It's McNutt.
Sometimes you feel like McNutt.
Sometimes you don't.
You brought him up that time.
I did. I brought up Bradman that time.
Yeah.
But I had not thought about him for years.
Which is like
Then you showed
where's my 20?
Then you showed. Yeah, I consider that a separation fee, an avoidance fee. How's that? Man, look at that sun.
An avoidance fee. Wow.
Look at that sun.
Yeah, it's great.
So what are you doing? What are you doing to enjoy a Friday night with beautiful weather in February?
Well, we have our tax appointment at 3.
Man, I just got one of my last tax things like this week from one of my people I make money from. So
we have our tax thing at 3, and our tradition has been to go down to Riverside after our tax appointment.
I think you should go over to Wild Rose.
Well, they're not a sponsor.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Oh, I thought they were still.
No.
Okay, well, then go to Riverside.
Yep. So we'll probably do that. And we won the last time we went down there.
There you go.
So
I still have.
Jim Hunter will be broadcasting from Solon.
Solon American Legion?
Yeah, fish fry.
Oh. They do that every they do that every Friday at Solon,
yeah.
don't they? Yeah. I've heard it's pretty good.
It is.
Is it like haddock or cod or?
It's
with batter on it.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like.
And then the shrimp's real good. They got party potatoes. And
it sounds good.
They got homemade desserts that are fantastic. No, it's.
So does anywhere in Iowa City do a fish fry?
Yeah,
Regina does.
Oh, that's right. Regina does. I've been to that one. That's good too.
And also American Legion.
Okay, that's right. Right up there on Muscatine.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, everybody, enjoy your Friday fish if you are Catholic.
Yeah.
If not, enjoy your big juicy steak.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yum.
I'm thinking.
Or
maybe we'll go to Ruthie's down in Riverside and get a thick steak.
And
well, you're expecting some money.
Take that, Catholics.
Yeah. I've already filed an extension.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't know that we're getting any money back at all, but I don't know that we're not.
Yeah. I filed an extension. I'll worry about it.
I still have to pay my taxes for 2023.
Hear the commercial we're running.
Optima tax relief.
The guy gets on. This is on CBS. Now that we're running it, guy gets on and goes, "I haven't paid my taxes in 8 years,"
and acting like he's being picked on.
Yeah, and
I'm a victim.
The IRS is coming to get me.
I'm a victim. Help me.
You know, honest to God.
I've seen that one.
And then there's one where it's Big Lou, and Big Lou says, "So your trophy wife, wife 3, wants you to get $1 million insurance policy. I'm only on wife 2." And it's the most ridiculous. You would think that it's like a Saturday Night Live sketch, but it's a real insurance company.
No, some of those commercials are crazy.
Big Lou Insurance.
Big Lou. Okay, all right.
That's the name of the company.
Big Lou Insurance. Boy, that really inspires confidence, doesn't it?
It's on CBS.
Interesting. I have not seen that one, thankfully.
Boy, what happens if you don't make a payment? What does Big Lou do?
Honest to God.
And again, the men's game tomorrow is Big Ten Network, right?
Yes, 1:15.
And then the women's next game is on. Did you say Fox?
It's Sunday on FS1.
FS1. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've got quarter till. We're about ready to wrap up.
We've digressed enough, I think.
Well, everybody, enjoy this weather and have a safe weekend. And
indeed.
We'll be back tomorrow to talk even more about the Iowa-Illinois game, which will be just hours away by the time we get here tomorrow.
Just hours.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Hello.
Speaking of commercials, I was surprised to hear Simon Conway on your station last night doing a commercial.
Who was it?
Simon Conway.
What did he do?
What commercial? Some hearing aid thing.
I don't know who that is.
I guess I don't know who Simon Conway is.
He's on WHO.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can do commercials. I mean,
well,
what are we going to do about it?
There you go. Okay. Well, thanks for the info.
Yeah,
all right, everybody, have a good weekend.
Good old Simon Conway. All right.